A look at the numbers for the former bantamweight champ. 10 knockdowns, second most in bantamweight history. Over 1,100 significant strikes, tied for fifth most in bantamweight history. And then he's top 10 in strike accuracy and takedowns in UFC bantamweight history as well. He can't hurt you anywhere, but you know the stand-up game is where he's his best.
That's definitely the hotbed for him. I mean, you look at classic Petr Yan type of striking. It's that high guard, hands up high, inching forward into pressure, fast hand speed, and he's got this dynamic style of striking. As soon as you think you have a beat on him, he's throwing a spinning back fist, he's throwing a spinning back heel kick, right? He's all over you, and his takedown defense has showed up as well. If he gets on top of you, he's the type of guy that can finish fights with ground and pound. You see this finish right there for Jose Aldo, the legend right there. Petr Yan is a guy that he could do it all, but the hand speed is what stands out to me, Laura.
It absolutely does, and listen, in talking to him in fighter meetings this week, he is so incredibly focused. He feels like Merab is the only guy that's actually bested him inside the octagon. Doesn't feel like Sean beat him, doesn't feel like Aljo beat him. He's looking for that title fight.
Yeah, channeling that inner Sugar Show, right? Saying nobody's beaten him, he's still undefeated or only really lost.
They were close.
Judges would agree.
Yeah, close split decisions in those two losses.
Yeah, no doubt about that. As for Figueiredo, the former flyweight champ, is a perfect 3 for 3 since moving up to 135. Those wins all coming against top 10 opponents. Chito Vera, Cody Garbrandt, Rob Font, and all in the last year. Sanko, he is making quite a name for himself as a bantamweight.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, Deiveson Figueiredo is a problem at 135, undefeated since moving up, and he's already taking out some of the top contenders in that division. And what's amazing to see, his power translates. I mean, that was all we talked about when he was a flyweight, was the punching power, the ground game. Everything so far has translated into this new weight division, but oh, by the way, now he's got the energy to be able to wrestle and really go to that ground game even more than he was comfortable doing at flyweight now that he's up 10 pounds heavier, healthier, and also very focused on meeting Merab Dvalishvili.
And it's such an advantage when you don't have to focus all week or 2 weeks long on the weight cut. When you can focus on the fight instead of doing that, that's the advantage that he has now. When you look at that matchup, that win over Cody Garbrandt, that's a similar matchup in this one against Petr Yan. Somebody with fantastic hand speed, take him to the mat where he's going to have the advantage.
All right, let's turn our attention to the co-main event. Xiaonan competing in her home country for the first time in 6 years against Tabatha Ricci, who has injected herself into the top 10 after that win over Angela Hill last summer. For Xiaonan, it's her first time back in the octagon since that title fight against Wei Li back at UFC 300.
Yeah, you look at Xiaonan. I mean, in this fight right here against Zhang Weili, she showed so much heart, was in horrible positions. She gutted it out the entire time, but when she's at her best, she's standing and striking. She has very fast hands, good footwork, and watch this one-punch knockout over Jessica Andrade right there. It reminded me of a Stipe versus Verdum. She let her into it, let it rip, one-punch power, she's got it all.
And Ricci 6-1 in her last 7, Sanko.
Yeah, she's the new shark in the deep waters of the top 10 of this division. And what makes her so dangerous is just how well-rounded she is. She can really adjust her game to whoever she's facing. If she's facing a better striker, she can make it a grappling affair, and she's got great submissions. If she's facing another grappler, she can actually turn it into a kickboxing match and force the fight onto the feet. The fact that she has options is part of what makes her so dangerous and such a problem in this division. She recognizes the opportunity ahead of her, the possibility of really jumping up in those rankings if she can get the better of Xiaonan.
Speaking of rankings, another good fight. We have a pair of top 10 light heavyweights. Volkan Oezdemir coming up first-round knockout win against Johnny Walker in June. Carlos Ulberg has finished 5 straight. He's won 6 in a row. This is going to be a big-time test for the former title contender, Oezdemir.
Dan, this is one of those fights that jumped off the card to me when I saw this. You got 2 finishers, 2 fantastic strikers. You have a guy like Ulberg who likes to let the pressure come towards him, and he looks for that patented check hook, that left hook. He likes to stay nice and long. When you have Volkan Oezdemir, this is a guy that finishes fights very early, but he's also a very skilled fighter. He's not going to make too many mistakes. He's a guy that gets you against the fence, though. It's going to be a wrap right there as you see against Johnny Walker. You don't want to have you back against the fence against Oezdemir, but these are 2 hard-hitting guys that like to finish fights early, Laura.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
A lot of power, and, you know, for Ulberg, he dispatched Alonzo Menafield in 12 seconds.
It was
last
crazy.
time
I was calling that fight. I had all this stuff prepared, all this research done. He goes out there 12 seconds. I don't think I even got a word in.
That's not how you want to fight a guy like Ulberg, rushing forward. forward into danger like that.
100%. I mean, the win streak that he's on in this division, longest in the division, I mean, he's got a tremendous skill set. Like you said, this fight really jumps off the card when you look at it.
Yeah, 6 wins in a row and 4 first-round finishes among them for Carlos Ulberg.